All right, Shalom. I want to first start off giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors unto our apostles as well as the men that taught our apostles, the elder high priests, as well as the elder bishops and the elders at Great Millstone. Peace and blessings unto the 144,000 and the rest of the elect of the nation of Israel. This is the brother Abadia from the GMS Houston camp. All right, and as we know, we are in the end. We're living in the time of the end. Then the very end of the end. Okay, and the end of what? The end of the time of Esau's wicked rule on this planet Earth. The so-called white man dominating and ruling and terrorizing the earth and the nations. Okay, because that's exactly what he's done, and he's still doing to this very day. And his time is just about up. There's just really a few more major prophecies that have to take place before the Most High sets up the kingdom of heaven through his son Yahushua on this planet Earth. Okay, the Earth right now is in a state of chaos, economic failure. You know, um, crime is through the roof. Right, immorality is saturated through a Babylon the Great and shit all around the world. You know, you got the cost of living through the roof. Okay, you got Esau through the face of Donald Trump coming down on the Latin tribes, soon to be all the tribes, as far as with this mass deportation of illegals, right? It's all kind of things going on. Earthquakes in diverse places. All right. The spirit of the last world war is here. Or not just the spirit, is here. We're in the very beginning stages of the last world's war. All right. There's crime and death, all kind of extreme ways people are dying, you know, all over the world. And so it's all kind of things going on. All these are signs of the end of the age of Esau ruling this planet Earth. And that's why everything is in this earth right now is chaotic, you know. Now going back to the statement I made about, is a world economic failure, which really is just leading towards a reset to turn the whole or lead towards the whole earth being digitalized or everything going digital. Okay, which AI is playing into this. All right, the fourth revolution, the mixing of man and machine, and the people are conditioned to be for this technology to basically be put in them. Okay, the MOTB. All right, people are addicted. Their minds are already in the technology. They can't put it down. I was out. Where was I at? Damn. I was out and about the other day handling some business. I cannot remember what I was doing, but I do remember seeing looking over and seeing what I perceived to be Edomites in their car. It looked like a father and son, and they were out. We out now. We're not in. We're out in some type of shopping. It had to be a shopping center of some sort, and the boy had one of those virtual reality, I guess, headset deals on, or whether it's a video game. I'm not too familiar with that stuff, but he was in a whole nother world, instead of, you could have hit him upside his head. He could have got, you know what I'm saying? He wouldn't have known what the hell was going on. He was in a whole nother world. And he looked it crazy. But just using, just thinking on that, and how these children and shit adults, everybody's addicted to this technology. They're in the meta what is the metaverse? Okay? So to make that happen, the mixing of man and machine, the people are ready for it, you know? Now what I have here is a news article from the CBS News going into layoffs, because that's another thing that's hot and heavy here in Babylon the Great. Layoffs are going on, okay? And companies, and now if you're not being laid off, your hours are being cut, okay? They not giving out more money, okay? So there's a decline there's a major decline in the job market. All right. Oh, people are drowning in debt. That's another sign that this place is done and Esau's time is up. They're about to with this one big beautiful bill. One big beautiful bill um, is going through the process of being completely passed. Okay. All right. And one thing I had looked into it a little bit. One thing I seen was Esau got the legislation in there to come after, debt, student loans, and all debt, but mainly like this, federal debts. Then there is probably some writing in there. I didn't get all deep into it, that says they're gonna if you don't make you have to choose a payback plan. Yeah, I remember some of it. You have to choose. There's a certain, I guess Esau is giving us certain options on how to pay back your debt, student loan debt and whatnot, federal debt. And if you don't, basically, if you don't choose one of those plans, however that looks, then they're gonna automatically start deducting the money out of your paycheck. That's what's going on. The end of Esau's world, chaotic, um, immoral, unrighteous world. Let's get in. I'm gonna read in here in this article, and I'm gonna hit a scripture. And Lord willing, this is edifying. And when did this was updated? July. So this is updated July the 2nd, which we're now in the 3rd, 12:44 p.m. So earlier, yesterday, this was put out. It says layoff reaches highest level since 2020. That's the pandemic, right? During that time, new data shows. Here's why companies are cutting jobs. Okay, I'm gonna read. I'm not gonna read too much. I'll read maybe like 4 or 5 paragraphs, small paragraphs. It says layoffs across the U.S. this year have climbed to the highest level since the pandemic slammed the economy in 2020. New labor data shows. In the first half of 2025, companies announced 744,308 job cuts nationwide. Okay, that's pushing towards a million. All right, in the first 6 months of this year, the highest tally since the first 6 months of 2020 when employers cut nearly 1.6 million jobs in response to COVID-related disruptions, according to the outplacement firm Challenger, Gray and Christmas. Federal agencies have been particularly hit hard this year amid a push by Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency to slash costs. Other sectors shredding a large number of workers include retail, technology, media, and nonprofit organizations. Microsoft on Wednesday announced it would cut just under 4% of its workforce, or roughly 9,000 employees, in what is a second major round of layoffs this year for the profitable tech giant. So they're going through, and that's how layoffs, especially at the big corporate companies, okay, they lay off in rounds. And I experienced layoffs, since going all the way back to 2009, you know, and they lay off in rounds. Sometimes they can have up to over three rounds, or up to three or more rounds of layoffs. You know, it says, and what is a sec? Okay, read that. It says, while the economy remains solid by most measures, economists warn that growth could cool in the coming months as the effects of Trump administration tariff policies take hold. So things are only going to get worse. All right. And we're going to see, man, listen, we're watching, but you can feel it, is it the spirit of uncertainty with the people. Okay. The spirit of fear. All right. It's a real, everybody's on edge. Everybody's oppressed. Okay. Everybody's drowning in debt, barely making it out here. Okay. So things are looking bad. And this is only the very, very beginning. Okay, the beginning of sorrow. We're still in the beginning of sorrow. It hadn't really got bad yet. Okay, but it's coming. All right, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, in those days, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. And we in this time, in the beginning of this time right now. Okay? And people are losing jobs, all right, left and right. And if you have a job, they could maybe cutting your hours, okay? Even if you're a salary employee, okay? They'll cut your fucking salary. Is that's being done. All right, it says, yeah, and people are looking into the future, and it just don't look bright. Only thing on people's mind is how they're gonna make it, and what else do they need to do to make more income. That's not the only thing on their mind, but that's, without that, there's no lifestyle. You gotta eat, you gotta pay the bills, so that's primary. You got people in their 50s and 60s, okay, that are working and got to pick up more, everybody's looking to make an extra buck, make an alternative source of income, what they call it, supplemental incomes, okay? And we gonna see, man, by the we just anxious. I'm anxious to see the third quarter. We're in the beginning of the third quarter of this year, okay? And see how it look at the end of this quarter, going into October. That'll be the start of the last quarter of this year. Okay, things could look real ugly by that time, and it's all. If you go and check out that one big one big beautiful bill, there's a lot in there. I mean, it's all kind of information in there on how really they trying to um, save money and less spending, less government spending, and coming for unpaid debts. You know how to make things more efficient. How you make it more? How are they going to make things more efficient? By cutting jobs. Well, I'm sorry, not cutting jobs. By cutting funds to these different departments and agencies. Okay, that things that make this place go round. So back in Ecclesiastes 12, verse 4, it says, "And the door shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low." Yeah, the sound of the grinding is low, but this is the beginning. We still really in this prophecy right here. It hadn't passed, okay? We're in the beginning stages of it. It says, "And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low." And we're definitely in that. That's another sign that we're in the end. Look at the music. Look what they're talking about in the music. A bunch of vanity, a bunch of wickedness, things that don't encourage life, but encourages death. Meaning it doesn't encourage a positive, healthy lifestyle. It produces, okay, or encourages a degenerative lifestyle and mindset. The Queen of Heaven spirit is still hot and heavy, even though you have this real red pill movement awakening. You know, simps are waking up. you know, but there's still a heavy presence of that Queen of Heaven spirit here. Okay, but reading on, it says also. Okay, and I'm gonna stop right there. But that's the point. You know, jobs. The point is that Esau kingdom is going down. It's where the end of this man's kingdom, and this is one of the signs. Okay, the economic failure, banking failure, which is really moving towards a reset, a government takeover. Okay, government takeover by bankrupting the world. Okay, and ushering in a full fledged digital AI system. All right, digital with money, and then AIs be in a how you say woven in with that woven together with this digital economy, worldwide digital economy, CBDCs, central bank digital currency. All right, and we can't wait. Um, we can't wait to just see more surprises and things unveil as we get closer and closer to Esau being completely taken out of power. So Lord willing, this video was edifying. I'm gonna end it right here. And to the next one, I say, Shalom.